Okay, now it's time to make our player to actually move. And I don't want you to just blind copy my lines of code. I want you to understand everything. So that's first of all, let me explain you what we will do and how we will do. Now, there is a lot of ways how we can move our player, and you just need to know few important things. If we go in the edit, project settings, here we will see this input manager field, which has this axis. And here we see horizontal, vertical, and different buttons as well. If we, for example, open this horizontal axis, we see that it already has the keys A, D, left and right, all set up. We can obviously change those keys, but not to confuse you, I won't be doing anything. I will leave them as they are right now. But the main thing is that if we, for example, access this horizontal axis from our script, Unity will automatically know that when we will then hit A, D, left and right, we are using this horizontal input. And also, what you should know is that if we, for example, select player, as I said, we want only this kind of movement or horizontal movement. And when I move, my X position is changing. Just look at it. My X position is changing. So it means that with our script, we should change position on the X. That's two things that you should know. Now, also, we have this rigid body, and we can use this rigid body to actually move our player with our script. So let's go back. And first thing is that now that we need is to get information about our horizontal input that I showed you. And to do it, we just need to go in the update and say inputs dot get axis raw. In parentheses and quotation marks, we will say horizontal and spell it correctly because everything is case sensitive. So we just need to say horizontal and semicolon. Now, also, what we can do, we can save information about this horizontal input into our container. But we don't have any container, any empty container for now. So let's create new container, private, float, and let's call it direction. I have made spelling mistake. No problem. Direction. And we can say here direction equals this. And now we are storing information about our horizontal input into this direction component. Now, next thing that we will do, as I said, we can actually move our player with the help of our rigid body. Our rigid body is RB in this case, so we will say RB.velocity equals new vector 3. There is one of from the many ways how we can move our game object, and we will learn a few ways through this course how you can move your player, and this is just one of the ways. You are just saying rb.velocity equals new vector 3, and here this new vector 3 should contain three elements, three parameters for the x, for the y, and for the z. As I said, we only need to change the x movement, x position, and also we can use this direction, which contains information about our input. So for the x, we can say direction, and we can multiply it by some speed, by our move speed. Move speed. That will be for our x, and like this, our x will be changed. And as I said, we should leave y and z unchanged because we don't care about them just yet. So, comma, 0, comma, 0. These two zeros are for the y and for the z. So, we are only changing position on the x, and we are using our horizontal input, and we are just multiplying it by move speed. This is very simple way how we can get information about our input, then multiply it to some speed, and we will move our game object. Also, what you can do if you are completely new in Unity, you can just make two lines like those, like this, and this will be after you can write anything, and this will be your comment. It won't be called anywhere in your script, it will be just comment. And I recommend you to comment your script as much as possible. For example, here we can say getting info about our horizontal input. Here we can say moving our player, and so on. Here we can say getting reference for rigid body, and so on and so on. Anyway, you got the point. So let's save our script, Control and S or Command and S, and let our script compile. Let's go back in Unity, and we already set our move speed to be 3, which is fine, I think. Let's hit play and see what will happen. And now when I touch my left and right key, as you see, my player moves, and we have quite snappy movement. That's exactly what we want, because we will need snappy movement to avoid shooting from our enemies in the later stages. And that's it. It's very simple. By the way, what we should also do is to take this collider a little bit up. So I will make center to be a little bit up, because I think it messes our movement a little bit. Yeah, okay, now it's fine. By the way, we can change speed to be anything, for example 4, 5 or whatever. We will deal with it later, but for now we can save our scene.